62 years after the fact, and it still holds up. The Horror Chamber of Dr. Faustus, or as it's more famously known, Eyes Without a Face. There's Christiane, who had an accident, and she has no face. Her doctor father wants to fix her face and will go to great lengths, like stealing others' faces, to give his daughter something other than eyes without a face. So this was directed by George Franjou and based on a novel by John Redden, and it's French. There's subtitles and the cast is French, so it's going to be very difficult for me to pronounce these names, but I will do my absolute worst because I'm not very good with foreign names. Pierre Brachot plays Le Docteur Gensier, who is very, very goddamn creepy in this role. Louise was played by Alida Valli, who, very, very lovely, I might add. Edna, played by Juliette Manuel, who I swear I've seen in other movies. I swear I've seen her, and I just can't place her. L'Inspecteur Perrault, Alexandra Regonal. Boy, I'm just totally butchering these goddamn names. And Christiane Edith Scob. Not Scob, not Scoob. Like Zoink Scoob, we gotta get out of here, man. This guy's gonna take her face. Holy shit. Man, if only Shaggy had sworn, that would have been a whole lot more fun. So, again, it's French, and it is something that came out a number of years ago, over 60 years ago, because it came out in 1960, even though HBO Max has it listed at 1959, and IMDb has it released in 1962. This is one of the most haunting fucking horror movies that you will see. It's something that still holds up. Yes, obviously, there's the fashion choices and stuff like that, because this was back in 1960, 59, whenever the fuck it was actually filmed, because 59, 60, 62, it doesn't really fucking matter because that whole period, it's going to seem dated. But guess what the main hook of this movie is? The fact that it's fucking creepy. From the opening credit music, that's like French dark carnival shit. No, I'm not talking about Vampiro and the Great Muta and late era WCW being tag team champions. Not that dark carnival. We're talking really, really creepy carnival stuff and really frightening. It worms its way into your head. Seriously, look up Eyes Without a Face 1960 theme and you will know what I'm talking about. Like, especially the 12-minute long version. It's fucking scary. Absolutely scary. Also, the HBO Max, version is a Criterion Collection. Hooray! That means it's the best picture quality and the best music and everything. And holy fuck, this movie's creepy. Very, very creepy. Some may have seen this before. I've actually never seen this movie. I've only seen clips. And I decided I'm finally going to sit down. I'm going to watch something that I wanted to see. Like, I was going to do this for Horror Movie Month. I'm like, fuck it. I can't wait. I don't want to wait for this face to be taken off. I want to see how they do it now. So, a surgeon had a car accident, basically, and that left his daughter disfigured. And he's been doing everything in his possible power to medium, great, and way far lengths to try and make sure that he can give his daughter a face, hence Eyes Without a Face. We only briefly see what his daughter looks like without a face or whatever, and it kind of looks like rawhide chew and everything, but it's kind of filmed through a little weird cloth lens. But in the meantime, she has a mask. It's almost like a death mask. It's this creepy, just not porcelain, but it almost looks porcelain-like mask where the eyes move around, but the lips don't move. And none of this happens. And it's one of the creepiest fucking masks. It will haunt you. It will fucking haunt you. It is scary as fuck. Like, looking at that, I'm like, no, you get that off my screen right now. No, I don't want to watch that. And I can put up with a lot of stuff in horror movies. It's just, this is something that did disturb me, mainly because you could see somebody being this mad to try and help out their family and just go insane, despite the fact they were batshit insane already. So, yeah, that opening credit music will absolutely haunt you. It also is throughout the entire movie. It's like a carnival's following you, and ready to take you somewhere behind the big top and show you a good time. Or be like Killer Clowns from Outer Space and just turn you into whatever the fuck they turned you into. I reviewed that. Check out that review. So anyway, basically, there's this opening scene, because there's going to be spoilers, sorry, the movie's 60 fucking years old, sorry. Spoiler, where this girl is in the back of this car, and she's just kind of slumped down, and there's this woman, Louise, Alida Valet, who is taking this woman. She's taking her somewhere. Maybe she's drunk. What the hell's going on? She doesn't want to be followed. She has to make sure nobody's around. And by the way, that's the biggest car in France. at this time because it's like this small, a VW Beetle that we can't call VW Beetle. And she drags this person and tosses him in the fucking river. Well, what the hell? I mean, that's not how you handle a drunk person. Well, it is what it is. And it is what it seems like, okay, we're going to be in for something a little bit weird, but maybe we're not going to be in for something necessarily revolutionary. Oh, ho, 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 6 minutes into a 90-minute movie, we get the first bit of dialogue. Since it's French, pay attention to the goddamn screen or you're not going to know what the fuck's going on. And even if you do pay attention to dialogue, you still may not be sure what the fuck's going on because a lot of weird shit happens in this. The surgeon, Genesier, I'm just gonna call him Dr. G. Dr. G has these ideas of helping do transplants and use radiation and stuff like that, and he's figuring out a way to bring science forth and everything, bring science into the modern age. And he's changed so much since his daughter disappeared because the person that was tossed out by Louise that actually is partners with the doctor. It turns out that that was actually somebody that the doctor had experimented on. Louise had to get rid of it. So there you go. Couldn't hire a big burly guy. Couldn't hire an Igor, even though Igor trying to carry that body would have been hilarious. Nope, they rely on a woman that was at this point about 40. Alita Valley, by the way, looked great in this. And he's talking about all this stuff that he had to do while he's dealing with his daughter's disappearance. She was the body that was thrown in the river. He goes to identify the body, and it turns out that it's his daughter, and then she's buried, and these police look over, all these people, like, there's Jacques, who was the fiancé, the financier of Christiane, who is the daughter, by the way, who is not dead, in case you didn't gather that. It's not like they automatically just said, oh yeah, the doctor couldn't figure it out, and we just killed the daughter and did that. No. It was a way to throw him off the trail while he could do his own experiments. And so he basically insisted that she wear her mask so she doesn't damage what's left of her face and stuff like that. And wear your mask. God, these early pandemic protocols, man, wear the mask, wear your mask, by the way. I know we're still dealing with some stuff, but come on, I know it's March 9th of 2022 after all, so just wear it. But yeah, creepy porcelain mask. Good God, you will have a real face, I promise. Fucking goddamn creepy ass mask. Get it away. It's So Christiane says he blames himself for the accident or whatever, but he has a human guinea pig, to experiment on. How fortunate for him. Very good dialogue in this, by the way. Very good dialogue. Also one of the creepiest masks in history. I cannot get over that. The music, fucking haunting. Goddamn haunting. It's wormed its way into my head. It's hard to hum. Because I don't want to hum it, because then it's going to, find a way to, come at me at night, and this music's going to beat me over the head and drag me out into the woods that we have out here. Moving on. The coldness of the face and just everything, and the music, and just everything about this is really atmospheric and creepy. The director does a great job. Cinematography is beautiful. Great cast. Christine is confined to the house. She does eventually call her fiance, but doesn't say anything. He's like, say something. He also works with the doctor at the hospital that is seemingly just a couple clicks away. How far is a click? Click if I know. So, Edna is somebody that is she's just, a young girl all around everything. She kind of has the same facial features as the daughter. And Louise, because she's part of the doctor's charge, says, hey, I got a ticket for this movie. Oh, I was going to get a cheap one. That's okay. Come on and sit with me. Oh, all right. Oh, you need a place to stay? I know a place to stay. Then Edna decides to go with this, but says, I need to think things over because I'm going to go see my friend tomorrow. And then they knock her out with ether and take off her face. The makeup effects and the way they do this shit and body horror stuff, even though some of it's left up to the imagination, they show you enough that it will stick with you. That face removal stuff is whoo-hoo. Ooh, by the way, there are dog pens also. There are dog pens because the doctor does experiments on dogs because he's a dick like that. And don't worry, that comes back into play. But I'm like, oh, giant dogs. Oh, please tell me the dogs aren't experimented on. Oh, they are. So, Edna, at one point, wakes up and sees Christiane without her mask. And then, oh, Edna, you'd lose your face if it wasn't attached to your skull. And she does, because she was knocked out. So, there's there's a lot of creepy shit after this. Louise basically says, "Doctor, I owe you for the face you gave me," because it's experiments he's done. She has a pearl choker around her neck that hides the scars, because apparently he was able to do this once, but he wasn't able to replicate it. Somehow, that wasn't also explained all that well. But Edna finds a way to just pretend to be asleep. She knocks out Louise with a bottle, can't get out the garage door to escape, and she's all bandaged up, by the way. So you can't tell, obviously, it's just bandages, and she didn't actually have her face removed. The French aren't quite that insane with their horror movies, are they? Probably. High Tension was insane, and not for the right reasons. But she goes up and she decides, oh, hey, I can't escape, I'll just jump out the window and jump to my death. But then they had to get rid of her body, and they throw her in the daughter's mausoleum. Okay, that's a bit weird, because aren't they going to be able to smell that? Because you use various chemicals to prevent the body from smelling after you bury it, and now you're throwing a fresh body without those chemicals down there. Now, maybe he's a doctor, maybe he had done something, he wrapped her up in a rug and whatever, but it was a little bit weird. So, the police are doing some investigation. In another scene, there's this girl, Paulette, that had done some shoplifting, and this one police officer was like, okay, well, I'll let you go with a warning. And this one guy says, wait, don't let her go with a warning. We need her. Because Jacques ends up hearing from his, dead fiance and says, well, I think it was her. We probably should investigate this. The doctor's been acting weird. I don't know why I didn't notice before now that the doctor was acting weird, because something was very, very bizarre here, but like, we're just going to do this. Also, the doctor's very worried that the facial recognition isn't going to, or the facial surgery didn't work, and it didn't take because of radiation, stuff like that, and whatever, and the deadness of the tissue. You can only do so much, and the face did melt away, so Christian was back to wearing the mask. And he'll experiment with me on those dogs. That's where the human guinea pig line came in. I kind of misspoke there. I apologize. And Jacques basically comes up with this idea, hey, we need to pursue this. So the police pursue it. They get this girl, Paulette. She dyes her hair and pretends to have migraines and gets in the doctor's hospital. This is all near the end of the movie, by the way. We really just rushed to the end of this goddamn thing. You will pretend to have headaches. Here's part of the plan. Da, da, da. And after she's released from the hospital, of course, that's not before being subjected to migraine stuff, like doing strobe light stuff. Great, I'm on strobe light duty again. And flashing the light, seeing if it affects the brain or whatever. Louise, after Paulette got released, Louise says, I'll give you a ride. Oh, much thanks. And then just magically, she's having stuff drawn on her face, pencil stuff, because she's going to get her face cut off. And then he then apparently gets a phone call that he's due at the clinic. So she's just left there. Paulette's just left there on this whole thing. Christiane is watching this whole thing and has had it. She's had it with this because she's been tired of living like this. She knows what her dad wants to do. It's wrong. She doesn't want to live like she has no face, but at the same time, she doesn't want innocent people to die. So he's called over to the clinic. He goes over there. Paulette wakes up. She's upset. Christiane has a knife. She has a scalpel. Oh my God, she cuts her loose. And then Louise is like, what the hell are you doing? She stabs her in the throat. Yeah, throat right about here. Yeah, right about there. And it was like, somewhere. It was enough where it would kill somebody, because, we kind of need our necks. We kind of don't need things to be stabbed at them. And Louise got killed there, and then she frees the dogs. And then the doctor's wondering what the hell's going on. He goes in his basement area to go past the dog pens. And the dogs suddenly attack him and rip him apart and everything. And then Christiane just releases, and when doves fly, they go off and we don't know what the fuck is going on anymore at the bitter end, because that is the end. And she is not sacrificing a new Nirvana. She's going off to maybe go to Jacques? Who knows? The movie is weird and it was creepy, and that music is going to haunt me forever. And that mask, sweet Jesus, that mask, good God, get out of my head. Get out of my head, everybody. The movie was certainly quite good. It is something I would highly recommend you guys check out. Eyes Without a Face. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.